My name is Firas Al-Kawas. I'm Chief of Endoscopy and Professor of Medicine at Georgetown University Hospital in Washington, D.C. This abstract addresses a very important issue for all endoscopy unit directors. What we have tried to do is to address the issue of efficiency in the endoscopy unit. Efficiency can be very hard to track in the endoscopy units because of the need for dedicated personnel. Pentax EndoPro iTrack software was used to follow patients through different processes in the endoscopy unit. The process started with their registration and ended with their discharge. So using the iTrack program, we were able to track the flow of patients throughout the endoscopy unit by having changes in color. So each color will indicate where in the process the patient is. For example, a green color will indicate that the patient has arrived, while a gray color will indicate that the patient has been discharged. And this data is retrieved and analyzed on a monthly, weekly basis, depending on need, and it will tell us how much time the patient spent in each process. Using the data we collected from the different steps during which the patients flow through the endoscopy unit, we initiated a pilot study where 1,231 patients over a 6-week period were studied. Analyzing data from that pilot study suggested that there was major delays after registration of patients in the endoscopy unit, and there was also major delays waiting for physicians to come to the endoscopy room to start the procedure. We met with the different parties, the physicians and the registration staff, and we initiated this study, which is a follow-up study, to look at how the flow of patients have progressed after we intervened and talked to the staff. The pilot study included 2,105 patients over a 10-week period. And during that study, we relooked again at the registration complete step, which indicated how long the patient stayed or spent in the registration area before they were ready for the pre-op evaluation. And as you can see in our baseline studies, the patients who arrived to the endoscopy unit at 7 o'clock in the morning for their 8 o'clock appointment were not ready until 7:38. In the follow-up study, after discussion with the staff, these patients who were arriving at 7 o'clock for their 8 o'clock appointment were on the average ready at 7:15, which meant there was a significant improvement in the time spent by the patients in the registration. The other area where there was significant delay was the nursing staff waiting for the physicians to come into the endoscopy room to start the endoscopy. In our pilot study, the staff was waiting on the average 10 minutes for the patients to arrive after they were alerted that the patient is ready in the endoscopy room. This time has dropped to 7 minutes. So in conclusion, there was a significant improvement in the time needed for the physician to appear in the endoscopy room when the patient was ready for the endoscopy. That was approximately a 30% improvement in the time needed for the physician to appear, which impacted on the overall time of the patient in the endoscopy room. So in summary, the Pentax iTrack electronic timestamps were very helpful in the physicians in assessing the flow of patients at different steps in the endoscopy unit. In fact, it allowed us to identify the areas of bottleneck so that we can intervene and improve efficiency in the endoscopy unit.